Well, a few days ago, we finally got that minimum wage paid sick time bill through. Not perfect, but thankfully it didn't stay the way it was because a lot of folks would be in real trouble financially today. Restaurant owners, servers, and people in that sort of an industry. But they got it done at the very last possible moment. Is it perfect? I don't think so. And from the most powerful voice for business in Michigan, the Michigan Chamber Business Brief now, Jim Holcomb is joining me. He's the Chamber President and CEO. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. Thanks for having me this morning.
Always nice to see you, my friend. All right, so the legislation, at least, it slowed some things down. Look, they're on the way to putting 50,000 people out of work. And I just don't understand how it got to that point or how the governor let it sit there and fester for so long. A lot of fear was going on out there. People thinking they're going to lose their job. Restaurant owners thinking it was going to put them out of business. What do you make of the bill as it is?
A lot of fear, like you said, we agree on how we got there with judicial activism, which is a whole nother topic, and you do a good job covering that as well. But that's the frustrating part. We didn't need to be in this position. As you said, the bill is better. Business owners, especially restaurateurs, can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. But it's still instability. It's still government getting in the way of growing Michigan and making Michigan a more attractive place to do business.
You know,
It's not great for employees. It's not great for employers.
Right. And look, I look at the state, and we have gone from, what, a $55 billion budget to $85 billion in just the last handful of years.
But we don't have enough money, they tell us.
Yeah, roads aren't fixed. Fix the damn roads. I don't know what happened to that. 1.5% of the roads a year were getting fixed as a result of Gretchen Whitmer's efforts. I don't think that's what people thought she meant when she said fix the damn roads. I see income tax here going up. I see other states like New Hampshire eliminating income tax this year. Tennessee, no income tax. Florida, no income tax. Several states now. And where do people go?
In Ohio.
Right.
Yeah, look at what Vivek said in Ohio. That's who we're competing against. We need to make Michigan the most economically competitive state in the nation. We need to attract jobs. We need a budget that's based upon realistic assumptions and fiscal responsibility. And that's what my members want. I think that's what the public wants. People are okay sending money to Lansing if it's not wasted, if it's efficiently used. But don't ask for more money until you can show them that all the money you currently have is being used the best way possible.
Do you get tired of hearing, oh, business has to pay their fair share? Look, 99% of the people going to work in America and in Michigan today work for a small company. They don't work for one of these, global giants. They don't. They work for a small company, and yet it feels like the small companies are being insulted and pushed every day.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see it on the right and the left, some of the populist rhetoric. You're attacking people who are making your community stronger, providing good paying jobs, strengthening families, and giving them the money they need. Where it's a great situation. Most people like their employer. That's why they work there. Most people have a good relationship with their employer, but a lot of the political rhetoric is always about how businesses don't pay their fair share. It's unfair, it's untrue, and it's not helpful when we're trying to attract businesses from other states.
That's exactly right. A great experiment was started on the 1st of January, in my estimation. New Hampshire went to zero income tax. Maine and Vermont, on both sides of them, raised their income tax. I think you might see some people becoming New Hampshire residents coming across. I mean, come on, I can predict this pretty easy, right, Jim?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There is a cause and effect to that. What we need to do is we need smart policies. I'm really happy Speaker Hall and Leader Nesbitt in the Senate are doing a good job. They're putting issues out there. You talked about roads earlier. I do appreciate the governor put out a plan. I really appreciate that Speaker Hall put out a plan. We need to have details to react to and how we come to a position of moving forward together.
Yeah, and I do see some investment. Apple announcing $500 billion into America, but one of those things is going to be an academy of some fashion in Detroit. That's good news for the state, but we need a lot more of those wins, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. We need to bring jobs into the state. We need to get our population growing. And how we're going to do that, though, there are many places we have to start, but we've got to improve the education system. I completely agree with the governor. She said we pay too much and we aren't getting results. Well, let's stop treating the symptom by throwing money at it. Let's really get down to the challenges we face and figure out how we're going to help kids. Because the best thing we can do to attract jobs is a stable workforce. And the best way to do that is make sure kids are work ready after K-12 education.
Yeah, where does the chamber come down on charter schools, schools of choice, that sort of thing? Because as I look at, I'll use the city of Detroit as an easy example, Jim. The charter schools outperform the public schools almost across the board. I mean, those charter schools are really working well. Where do you guys come down on that?
We've been a strong supporter of charter schools. We're in favor of empowering parents. We're in favor of focusing on kids. There are great public schools. There are very good public school teachers. There are great charter schools, but each family should have the ability to decide what works best for them and how their kids are going to learn best.
And what about trade schools? Because look, it's no secret to anybody out there today trying to find a plumber, a handyman, a carpenter, an electrician, stand in line because you're going to be waiting a while, right? Just to get small jobs done.
Yeah,
We need tradespeople.
Absolutely. I work very closely with some of the unions to trying to make sure that we can fill that pipeline. Those are good paying jobs, they're good careers, and it's for people who want to help rebuild Michigan. They want to work with their hands, they're creative, they're artistic. We're strong supporters of the trades, and we want to make sure that we're giving them a steady pipeline of good candidates to fill those jobs, and trade schools are a way to do that.
Yeah, I think we need a lot more investment into that sort of thing because, look, you can be 22 years old making $100,000 a year with no debt at all. Off and running, right?
But again, if you look at K-12 over however many years, when you and I were in school, you had voc ed classes, you had a whole curriculum, you had a play, you had a career path. We talk about career paths. Well, let's get back to it. Let's worry about all kids, not just a certain subset.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see happen, Jim, is we're going to see it's going to happen all over the country, by the way. Colleges and universities are going to go out of business, going to close their doors because the generations are smaller and kids are like, why would I spend all that money in debt for a job that I don't even know exists? They know that being a plumber works, that being a truck driver works, that being an electrician, there's 100 things you can do. You can start your own business and have a better shot at things than spending money at some of these universities. And I'm not picking on anybody in particular, but the cost of higher education has gotten so ridiculous for so many. Maybe it's time to get into business and become a member of the Michigan Chamber along the way. That's my thought.
Oh, well, I agree with your thought there. As I said, we need to focus on the individual, on each child. Universities are great for some. I went through universities, my kid did. Some kids need trade school, some need a community college. Let's make sure everybody has a good pathway to achieve their potential and achieve their dreams.
I totally agree with that. michamber.com if you want to find out more about what's doing at the Chamber. The #1 lobbying association in the Michigan for many, many years running. Jim Holcomb, always appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. Have a great day.
You too. michamber.com, michamber.com. You can become a member of the Michigan Chamber. I've been a member of the Michigan Chamber for many years because they've got resources. And as a small business owner myself, if you don't know what you don't know. Well, they know. Let me put it this way. They know things at the Michigan Chamber. Rules, regulations, guidelines. What do you call it? A hack? A life hack? A business hack? Yeah, they know all that stuff. Anyhow, good to have you here. Don't forget to follow on X. Yeah, I had some guy give me a hard time today. You sound like a boomer because you're calling it Twitter. I hear lots of people call it Twitter still, pal. I don't think I can do. I am a boomer. I don't care.
I was going to say, you are a boomer, Steve.
Well, whatever. Isn't that silly, though? Lots of people still call it Twitter. Your age, too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's a big thing to try to...
You sound like a boomer because you call it Twitter. I think he's drunk.
Hey, I've got something to say.
Yeah, that's different.
Call the Patriot Mobile Hotline this next segment, 877-310-9966.
Yeah, speak up. 877-310-9966. It's free for all Friday. Anthony says pick up the phone and call. Phone lines are open right now. Brock standing by with bated breath or garlic to take your call. I'll be right back.